The other big thing I did is swap the camera one. I have a short little video here of swapping that that you can watch eventually. I don't know when I'll get that one uploaded. Okay, a little project for the trailer tow camera in the GMC 84/GM products. So when you get the fifth wheel prep package, they give you the 7 and the 4, because that makes a lot of sense to put this up here, because so many people will connect into a 4-pin in their bed. Yet then down here at the bumper, right there, they give you the 7-pin, and then they give you these 2 trailer cameras. So you got one for inside and one for the rear. So obviously the rear will go into the camera wire I ran. This one just won't be used. But what we are doing is basically swapping these boxes. And I've already popped them out, as you can see, and disconnected. You basically have to depress these metal tabs on both sides. I use a long, thick screwdriver to reach up in there and push on one side, and then you can kind of push it out. Then once you push it out, you can pull it out and then pop the wiring harness off. Now the wiring harness, if you get that off, I'll come over here and look at this one. So there's this gray clip you pull out, and then you have to get a screwdriver and reach up inside this slot and pull up on that little black release tab in there, and then they'll separate. If you just pull the little gray pins alone, they won't separate. So the next thing you need is these cables. They are these FAKRA, FAKRA jack cables, coax. I got 3 foot in length. I got a black and a water blue. And this is where I ordered them from, and you can see the part numbers for these. And basically, we'll connect into the camera jacks, which are right there, and extend those up to up here. And then I will put this one down here with the 4-pin and the 7, the way it should have been from the factory. Hang tight and we'll see what it looks like. So what I did here is I connected to match a photo. So I took a photo to know which ones. So the black is on the right, I kept with the black. And then the blue one I'm connecting in with the orange. So I'll go ahead and feed the lines down through here, reconnect the 7 plug and pop it in. Now I don't know if a little bit of this bed covering is going to interfere, because this plug has a square top versus the curved top. I think it'll probably still push tight against that, but we'll go ahead and see. I might have to pop it back out and try to scrape some of that away to get a little tighter. So I got things connected back in, so I'll go ahead and snap it in place. Now, obviously, I popped the light out. Do yourself a favor and take out the 2 screws. It takes 30 seconds to pop this light out, then you can get back in here and access the clips and also help fish things down. GM was nice enough to round over and smooth over the metal in these hole pockets. So they're not sharp. Shouldn't slice your arteries open or anything like that. So we'll work it back in there. And let's see if I can't get those clips to engage back here. There, heard that pop? It just clipped in. Okay. So did not have to take any of that off. Now we'll go back under here and fish the wires over and connect into the back. Oh, you can see there's my airbags. That's how I have those mounted. All right, I got that popped back in there. I did actually take kind of a longer skinny screwdriver, and I just got in there and I just kind of pried up on those brackets slightly, and that allowed them to pop and fully engage in place. So again, you don't have to scrape away any of this protection. At least I didn't have to. If you have a glob or something, it was pretty tight. I had to pop those with that. So now I'll show you what that looks like underneath here. Go right like that. So then these lines come over here. I'll zip tie and let's see here. I will fish over and attach. Let's see, over to these guys right here. So they do not obviously go back to the plug, but you can see the hole up in there, so they connect into here. So bring these over. This wire loom here, I disconnected just because I was playing around with how it detaches. Obviously, we'll put that back together. I'll take these and zip tie them to this, and zip tie them to these, and then we'll connect in to those. So the teal to the orange and the black to the black. So that is complete. Now they do have little clip, so you press it in, snaps, and then you snap the clip closed. So they just fit in like that. Let's see, what's this? One of these wiring harnesses was attached somewhere up here, but I'll get this stuff zip tied up together, get the light back in, and I'll snap the plug back in up here, and that should be it. And the final product, got a 4-pin 7, just as God intended, and 7-pin, and the trailer in. Now I know some of you may say, well, if you got a conventional trailer, you want the cameras down here. And while I agree with that, I do think perhaps GM should do both. Maybe put cameras in both places. That way, for the 5th wheel, you can plug it in there and route it for your gooseneck like I have. Or for conventional, also have it here. And then just give you an adapter for the 7 to 4 is all you need to do. So anyway, that's was fairly easy. Honestly, the hardest thing was disconnecting the wire from the back of that, and then getting up inside this one. Obviously, you saw I popped the light out, put that back in, made it a lot easier. So if I wasn't fussing around with the wiring, trying to pop that out, it probably would have been about a 20-minute job, 15-minute job. I think it ended up being about a 35-minute job. And see, zip tied to the other looms. Good to go. Got some storms moving in. All right. GM trailer wiring kit. So here's the plug. Obviously that goes in the truck. Here's what that looks like. So some people have routed it up through this opening bulkhead here and around, down inside, and then through here. But this is a solid steel plate through here. I don't want to do any drilling or cutting. So I figured it's black and white with black trimming. So I just snaked it up the side here. As you can see, they come with these 3M clips, sticks to this fiberglass, very good. I tested one and you really have to get a knife under there and pry for that to even start to bulge. So I'm not worried about that. So it snakes along, comes down here. And then when I get under the trailer, then I zip tied it continuously underneath it to the gas line that runs all the way back. Comes all the way back. And let's see, when it turns right there. So I just followed that gas line, zip tying it. And then the gas line stops right over here. So you can see there it is, and I actually ran it through the steel tube for the bumper, or for the hitch rather, on the bumper. There is no bumper. And I brought it up the side of the ladder, zip tied it on every rung above so it can't slide down. And then I just stuck it here. I didn't want to drill in, so what I actually did is I took 6 of those little adhesive pads and I kind of put them beside each other, and I took a long zip tie and fed it through them and wrapped it around the frame of this. Now there's a little bit of wiggle to it, but I'm not worried about that. Again, there's 6 of those bad boys up there. And that's what it looks like. I didn't mess with trying to get it centered or up higher. I kind of did some testing plugged into the truck. At this view, I can actually see, the hitch opening, which will have a bike rack here. So I wanted it high enough to not be behind the bikes. So that invisible trailer feature actually wants it right here. And I don't plan on using that. This is just for help backing in to see what's behind me. And then on the road if I need a merge or something like that. So, and it's starting to rain. You can see it coming out there. So quick little demonstration of how he did it. A little bit of rain here, but let's look at this real quick. So it's a Grand Design 3100 VHS. It is a bunkhouse model, and here is the weight. You can see it's 11.5 dry and 14,000. Just runs up there, comes across, and then down. And these things are crazy sticky. I've not had an issue with them in 3,000 miles. So you can see I did swap out the pin box for a Reese Goose box. This thing has been spectacular so far. I was rocking the Anderson before. This is significantly better ride than the Anderson was. You can see it has 2 shocks, and then inside there's an airbag that you inflate. I did add that little extension that hangs down to help filling up the airbag. I have only had to put air in it one time in 3,000 miles, so it's pretty good. I did install it myself. I basically used the tractor, set it in the bucket, lifted it up with the bucket, got the bolts aligned. Came with the 4 bolts here, and I just went ahead and filled up the 6th with 2 of the leftovers. Figured out why not, right? And that works way better. So you can see I just have my 2 cables coming down, and now they plug in here for the 5th wheel. And yeah, this thing is an absolute breeze to hook and unhook. Some people say it's harder to hitch up the ball, but it is absolute piece of cake. I can have this whole thing from backing up. I kind of learned looking in my backup camera and my bed camera about where the ball is in relation to the front of my goose box. Basically, right when my goose box on my camera, I see the ball basically just starting to disappear under that thing. I stop, and then it's usually centered. You lower it down, that latch automatically snaps in place, and then it's locked. Hook up the safety chains, and you're on your way.